Biden arrived back in the country in the early hours Thursday and will address the nation tonight in what the White House has previewed as an effort to lay out Washington's response to the Hamas attack on Israel and the ensuing conflict, in addition to Russia's war in Ukraine. He touched on the funding package in remarks in Tel Aviv Wednesday.
75 years ago, just 11 minutes after its founding, President Harry S. Truman and the United States of America became the first nation to recognize Israel. We've stood by your side ever since. We're going to stand by your side now. My administration was in close touch with your leadership from the first moments of this attack. We're going to make sure we have what you need to protect your people, to defend your nation. For decades, we've ensured Israel's qualitative military edge. And later this week, I'm going to ask the United States Congress for an unprecedented support package for Israel's defense.
Biden will seek to explain to Americans why these conflicts in distant places from the homeland matter to U.S. foreign policy and the country's national security, particularly as public support for continued funding of Ukraine has waned in recent months. A last-minute bipartisan short-term funding bill to keep the government open passed after removing a $6 billion aid package for Kyiv. This, as growing opposition from right-leaning members of the Republican caucus in the House of Representatives raises questions about predictable U.S. support for Ukraine's military posture in response to Russia's invasion of its territory. Currently, the House has no speaker after Kevin McCarthy's ouster in early October. This was Biden on October 4th.
It does worry me, but I know there are a majority of members of the House and Senate in both parties who have said that they support funding Ukraine. With your, I'm going to be announcing very shortly a major speech I'm going to make on this issue and why it's critically important for the United States and our allies that we keep our commitment. I'm going to make the argument that it's overwhelmingly in the interest of the United States of America that Ukraine succeed. And it's overwhelmingly in our interest. I've spent 2.5 years putting together coalitions that no one thought could be put together. And they've strengthened us across the board, not just as it relates to Ukraine.
As the U.S. administration grapples with key foreign policy issues on multiple fronts, including a rising China that it continues to view as a strategic threat, for now overshadowed by the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
Everybody's focused on the military and the humanitarian. At the end of the day, there are no military or humanitarian solutions to what are fundamentally political problems. And more importantly, for the Biden administration, their fundamental concerns are Ukraine and China. And right now, this is, hate to put it in these terms, but it's a huge distraction. And the fear is that, this once again will disrupt, as we see, the possibility of fully supporting Ukraine or making sure that its China strategy is up and running. And so, I think one of the things the Biden administration would like to do is make sure that there's moderation here.
And in a country divided along ideological lines, Biden will seek to use his bully pulpit to rally consensus on what he views as key foreign policy objectives. Sherwin Briceby's SABC News, New York.